Definition 1. A group of people living in the same place or having a particular characteristic in common. Definition 2. A feeling of fellowship with others as a result of sharing common attitudes, interests, and goals. As a freelance videographer, I genuinely love what I do. Since pivoting from accounting after the pandemic, I find true joy in my work. But as you know, if you're a freelance videographer, creative, or you work from home, it can sometimes be a lonely journey. In between projects, I sometimes get uninspired and find myself watching videos from creators who are putting themselves out there, often surrounded by supportive teams to create something bigger than themselves. You might experience a big win or a heavy loss in your work, and it's a blessing to share that with family and friends. But it's different to walk through that with someone who is working in the same field as you. And in my career, what I've lacked is a supportive, creative community. One big lesson that I've learned is that the older that I get, the more intentional I must be with surrounding myself with a like-minded and empowering community. It's time to make a change. So here's the plan. For the past 4 years, Sam Newton has hosted a film premiere on his birthday. I always watch the recaps saying, "That looks like a blast." This year, after he mentioned an open invite to the first 350 people, I seized my moment, bought a ticket on the spot. This is the story of a kid from a small rural town with no business putting himself out there, to chase a dream, to say yes, to go for it. It's time to start showing up. We arrived one day early before the event and found out that Sam Potter was hosting a live film premiere near Venice Beach for his new film featuring the Coral Gardeners. Super small world because they are from the island of Moorea, French Polynesia, the same place that Colleen and I honeymooned. We had to go. An incredible night where I not only got to witness a true masterpiece of a film, but I got to meet creators from all over. I had the pleasure of meeting the Coral Gardeners founder, Tituan, who not only has a passion for saving the reef, but he's actually doing something about it. Getting to meet the visionary Captain Potter in the flesh was an honor. Please go check out his new film if you haven't already. Before I arrive at Sam Newton's event, I've got to rewind the clock to set some context. Sometimes I feel like this seagull. Got food in my mouth, learning how to fly. If you're a bird, I'm a bird, right? Okay, maybe we can't all be birds like Ryan Gosling, but I am just an average dude, a normal guy. I've got big dreams, and for the longest time, I've let those die. But today is a new day. I'm tired of sitting on the sidelines, pushing my dreams away. The time is now to begin. I wasn't the only one getting out of my comfort zone. My wife Colleen got to meet Emily Landers in person for the first time in Malibu. Colleen interned for Emily's podcast, How'd She Do That?, about a year or so ago. The Landers were an amazing host as we shared a meal together, got a tour of the Malibu coastline, and explored. It felt amazing to get out and experience these adventures, all from a simple yes. Most of the time, I feel like that baby seagull, wobbly legs, nervous about leaving the nest, my comfort zone, but despite that fear, sometimes you just gotta take flight and sail across that ocean that is in front of you. It might be standing up to finally share your story, to hit record on that first YouTube video or podcast. Maybe it's talking to that cute girl in class who might just one day become your wife. It could be calling a friend you haven't reached out to in ages, or buying the ticket to show up to an event across the country, even if you know absolutely no one there. You've got to dig deep and take that leap of faith. Okay, please not literally like this crazy guy, but you get the point. You'll never know what's on the other side until you start putting yourself out there. Before I knew it, we were under an hour away from the film premiere. We're about to go to the event while we came, and so we're pumped. Let's get it. Let's get it. The nervous butterflies are present, but the excitement and joy of finally surrounding myself with other creatives overshadowed those feelings very quickly.
Any advice I'm giving to any young creators, any people that want to do something similar, you just start. If you have the opportunity to take something that you made and put it on a big screen instead of just sharing it to the internet, it's so incredibly special. And I want to thank all of you for being a part of this night, because this is cool. This is really cool. So thank you. One of a kind. I don't know if I made it more valuable or less valuable, but it's something now. Grab a friend or two or three and go make something. Go make something that you want to make. Go make something that you are inspired to make, that you really want to. Give yourself a deadline and just go do it.
So I did. I made this video to recap an experience where I put myself out there. It was huge for me. This trip allowed me to get outside of my head of feeling like I was alone in pursuing this career. Seeing so many incredible films and meeting so many talented filmmakers from all around the world in one room was absolutely epic. I left beyond motivated, encouraged, and inspired to create and to connect with other like-minded individuals online, and even more so in person back home. I want to give a big shout out to Sam Newton, first off for a belated happy birthday, and secondly, for consistently making community building a priority. It's easy for community to get lost in this day and age when we're connecting online, on social media, connecting, but it's harder to connect in person. And to have an event like this to bring people together was just incredible. The energy was so exciting, and it's made me so much more intentional now that I've come back home to reach out to people. I'm actually meeting a stranger that I've never met to get coffee this Friday, just to link up and connect with another creative. For years, I've watched some of these talented filmmakers on YouTube from home, and getting to meet a lot of these people in person made me realize that they're human beings like you and me. They get excited, they get nervous, they get emotional. Sam Newton, shout out to him. The dude has a heart of gold and was crying happy tears all night. For instance, I got to talk to Eric Floberg and Steven Schultz for like 30 minutes before the films even started. And I got to see firsthand just their kindness and authenticity in person, getting to connect, but also just left so inspired by their willingness to collaborate with one another and other filmmakers to work and create something bigger than themselves, something more meaningful. It encouraged me to come back home and to do that as well. And I had so many other conversations like that throughout the entire night, but I just didn't have footage of everyone. I just want to say you were all incredible, and it was truly a special night. I hope this encouraged you to see a normal dude like me take action. It doesn't have to be massive like this trip, but it could simply be reaching out to someone online and asking to get a cup of coffee, to connect, to have a conversation, to collaborate. I'll leave you with this. Community doesn't just happen. You have to intentionally put yourself out there. You gotta take flight. So go out there and surround yourself with people that inspire you.